Good morning, students. I hope you all are good and fine at home. So, here I am with my lecture number 16 of Commercial Studies Class 9. So, students, in this video, we will be covering the remaining topics of chapter number 6, that is partnership. Students, I have already covered two parts of this chapter, and this is the third part. Just in my previous video, I have discussed the merits of partnership and demerits of partnership, and also one difference between partnership and joint Hindu undivided family business. So before proceeding to the uh, first topic, let us quickly revise what is the meaning of partnership. Now, what is partnership? Partnership is an agreement between two or more than two members to carry on some kind of business and also to share the profits and losses. So agreement forms the partnership business. Partnership means agreement between two or more than two people. For what purpose? To carry on some business and also to share the profits and losses. Just in my first part, I have make it very clear the definition of partnership, and also you need to mention the writer's definition this along with the basic definition also for gaining better marks. So let's proceed to our topic number 1, that is partnership deed. Now, what is partnership deed? Students, I have already told you that a partnership business needs to form a partnership. You need an agreement, you need a contract. Just you can say agreement means the contract. So a written agreement of partnership is known as partnership deed. When the members are when the partners are admitting into a business, certain agreement, certain contract is required, so as to ensure that they are the partners of the business. So such written agreement or written contract of partnership business is known as partnership deed. Now, what it contains? It contains all the terms and conditions on which partnership has been formed. So it contains entire terms and the conditions on which the partnership has been built up. Just it contains just even the smallest detail of the partnership. What details it contains we'll discuss in the later part, but let's first clear the meaning of partnership deed. A written agreement of partnership is known as partnership deed, and what it contains all the details regarding the partnership business, terms and conditions on which partnership has been framed or formed up. So I hope so you the meaning of partnership deed is clear. Now, what this deed usually contains? First detail is name of the firm. What is the name of the firm is a basic detail which a partnership deed must contain. Now, nature of the firm's business, what kind of business that firm is doing, whether they are dealing in clothes, whether they are dealing in garments, whether they are dealing in just automobiles. So whatever kind of business they are doing should be clearly mentioned in the partnership deed. A principal place of the business, the origination, the the place from which the business is being conducted, that should be clearly mentioned in the partnership. The principal means main. Principal means main main place of the business from which the business is being carried on. And now next one is duration of partnership. Now partnership is formed for a specific purpose or for a specific period of time. So what is the duration of partnership, if any is there? Suppose no duration is there, so it need not to be mentioned, but if duration of partnership is there, so it should be mentioned clearly in the partnership deed. Then fifth is name and addresses of the partners. Name, full name and full address of all the partners should be mentioned in the partnership deed, so that A proper contact could be maintained for such partners. Sixth one is amount of capital to be contributed by each partner. How much capital just each partner is bringing, so that should be clearly recorded, clearly maintained also, so that there should be no problem in the future time. So amount of capital should be properly recorded, that how much capital a partner is bringing into a business. Next one is profit sharing ratio. The most important point in the partnership deed is what is the profit sharing ratio. Students, I have already told you that it is not compulsory that the profits of the business are divided equally. It is not compulsory. It depends on the will of the partners. The partners will decide themselves that what is the profit sharing ratio, and what is the criteria for such decision. They will decide the profit sharing ratio just according to the amount of the capital contributed by each partner. So it should be make very much clear in your mind that profit is not divided equally, it is divided according to the amount of capital just each partner has contributed. According to that, profit sharing ratio is decided. Eighth one is rate of interest. Suppose if any partner has taken any loan from the business, then what will be the rate of interest on for which the loan will be charged. Students, you must be knowing that whenever you take a loan from any bank or from any financial institution, you need to pay certain rate of interest. You need to pay a certain rate of interest just along with the amount of money which you have borrowed. So similarly with the partnership business also, you suppose if any partner has taken loan from the business, then he needs to carry partnership deed must contain at what will be the rate of interest if any partner will borrow from the business. So that should be clearly mentioned in the partnership deed. Ninth one is what is the procedure for admission, retirement, etc. of a partner. How will the partners will be admitted? What is the procedure? What is the procedure for retirement? So all these details should be clearly mentioned in the partnership deed. Now 10th one is amount of salary or commission payable to partners. Now what will be the amount of salary or commission? What will be the rate of commission which will be payable to partners? So there are in total there are 10 points, out of which you need to remember at least 5 of the points, 5 or 6 points. Need not to explain such points, you need to remember only the points. So make sure you have got what is the meaning of partnership deed and what it contains, what the partnership deed usually contains, and try to learn at least 5 or 6 points. So I hope so this topic is clear to you, very much clear to you, and it is a very very important topic. So hope you have got it. So let's proceed to our next topic, that is registration of partnership. Now students, I have already told you that the registration of partnership is not compulsory at all. The law has not made it compulsory. It depends on the will of the partners whether to get their partnership business registered or not. So it is not compulsory, it is not compulsory. Now first of all, you should know that the partnership business is governed by which act? The Partnership Act 1932. Remember, learn by heart. This is the most basic and the most important question, that the partnership is governed under the Partnership Act 1932. This act states that registration of partnership firm is not legally compulsory, which I have told you just now, that registration is not compulsory. It depends on the partner's will. If the partners so desire, they may or may not register the firm. It totally depends on the wish of the partners. Now next question arises is, what is the procedure for registration? Now, in order to get registered, a partnership firm must submit a statement. First of all, to get their business registered, firstly, a firm has to submit a statement, and along with it, some fees which is being set up. So that fees a partnership firm has to pay, and to whom? To the registrar of the firms, to the authority which is being set up by the law. And what details that statement should contain? That statement should contain name of the firm, the place of the business, the address of the partners, and the duration of partnership. So in order to get yourself partnership business registered, firstly some statements should be there, and along with it fees should be there, some fees, just as prescribed by the Partnership Act 1932. And this fees and statement should be paid to the registrar of the firms. And what details, what information should be given for registration? Name of the firm, where the business is being conducted, name and full address of the partners, and duration of the partnership. So I hope so you have got this topic. Next is consequences of non-registration. Now, first is what are see, it is not compulsory to register a partnership business, but there are certain consequences, there are certain demerits if you don't register partnership business. Now, what are the demerits? First, it cannot enforce its claim against a third party in the court of law. Just if you have not registered your firm, you cannot enforce, you cannot file a case just against any third party just in the court of law. So if a firm is not registered, you cannot file any case just in case of any default against the third party in the court of law. You will not be applicable for it. So that is the first demerit or consequence of non-registration. Although the act have given some relaxation that you may or you may not register yourself, but if you will not register, following consequences you have to suffer. Now, firstly, you cannot file a case against a third party. Then second one, it cannot sue any of its partners. What is it here? It means firm. Just it means firm. So firm cannot file just any case against any of its partners. Suppose any partner has, for example, any partner has done any crime. So a partnership business or the partnership organization cannot file any case against its partners if the firm is not registered. Now, third one is partners of an unregistered firm cannot file a suit against each other. Now, the partners themselves also cannot file any case against each other, because that is not applicable if the firm is not registered. Partners even can also not file a case against each other. And the fourth and last point is, it cannot claim adjustment of a claim exceeding rupees 100. It cannot claim just any claim exceeding rupees 100. So if a non-registered firm tries to get any amount of claim just in case of any loss, so they will not be able to claim such amount of money. Only they can claim up to 100 rupees. So these are the following consequences of non-registration. And so it is always advisable that whatever kind of business you are carrying on, that must be registered. Now let's proceed to the next topic, that is advantages of registration. Now, what are the advantages of getting your business registered. Firstly, the firm can file suits to enforce its rights in the court of law. The firm, after getting its business registered, firm gets the opportunity, gets the facility to file any case against anybody in the court of law. Just, it's not that they can file the case just against anybody. A valid case should be there in case of loss, so they can file, the firm can file the suit against anyone in the court of law. Second, its partners can also file suits against each other and against outsiders also. So partners can even file a case against each other also, and against the third party also. So with the by getting their firm registered, partners can even file a case against each other in case of loss, and against the third party also in case of loss. And third parties can obtain necessary information about the firm before dealing it. And this is a very basic advantage, that if you will get your firm registered, the third parties who are trying to deal with you, they can get the information whether it is beneficial for them to invest in such business or not beneficial. So it gave the information to third parties also. Before dealing it, they can get the necessary information if your firm is registered, and they can cross check whether to deal with such kind of business or not to deal. So these are the following advantages of registration. Hope you have got that. First thing, keep in mind, registration is not compulsory. Although if you will not register your partnership business, there are certain consequences also, which we have discussed in a previous slide, and there are certain advantages also for getting your partnership registration successful. Now keep in mind that this registration means whole of the partnership is being governed by which act, which we have discussed here. Partnership Act 1932 governed whole of the partnership kind of business. So I hope you have got whatever I have taught to you today. Keep in mind, this is a very important lecture, and short questions are sure to come from this topic. First is partnership deed, the details of partnership also, then which act govern the partnership, just is registration compulsory or not, what is the procedure for registration, then we have discussed the consequences also, and what are the advantages of getting your business registered. So this is the end. So I hope today you have got whatever I have taught to you. And just in case if you have any problem regarding any topic, or in the previous topics of previous lectures also, you can just mention in the comment section. I will make a separate video for you all, just for your better understanding. So keep on revising, keep on learning, and just if you face any difficulty, mention in the comment section. I will clear your doubts. And till then, be safe at home. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe my channel, and have a nice day.